Welcome back, friends. Here in this lecture, we're going to learn about WAF and Shield, which are services available on AWS Cloud under the Identity and Security category. So let's start. Uh, AWS WAF and AWS Shield are the services that are being a part of uh, physical and technical security of your cloud instances running out there. With WAF, you get the layer 7 application protection for web traffic filtering with custom rules. You have malicious request blocking. You get active monitoring and tuning service at your hand. These rules could be flexible, pre-configured protection, and advanced security automation. You can add partner rules with WAF. It is a web application firewall at the application layer that lets you monitor different HTTP and HTTPS requests that are forwarded to Amazon CloudFront or application load balancers. WF also lets you control access to your content based on the conditions that you specify, such as the IP address that originate from different query strings at CloudFront or load balancers. You could send content via 403 HTTP status code that could be forbidden. You could configure CloudFront to return a customer error page when it is blocked. You can choose from one of the behaviors, allow all requests except the ones that you specify. You could also choose to block all requests except the ones that you specify. You could count the requests that match the properties that you specify. You could use these three categories or three kinds of things for different purposes based on your requirement. WAF allows you to protect your web applications or server from different kinds of malicious bots, distributed denial of service attack, DDoS attacks, or legitimate traffic like ping of death attack from the spammers, from hackers, and malicious things. It will be a very secure end for your server. It could differentiate between attacker and a good user till a certain extent. For bypassing the data from the cloud front to a website, it will be an added security layer. WAF has several benefits. Uh, you can define conditions for web requests such as based on IP address or request origination, the country, the value in request headers, the strings, the presence of SQL code. You can allow, block, or count web requests that meet the specific conditions. You could also check for a period like a 5-minute period. You can add rules that you can reuse for multiple applications. You could get real-time metrics and sampled web requests. And you can obviously administer these things using the WAF API. With the Shield, AWS Shield, you can use WAF to get access control list or ACS to help minimize the effect of DOS attacks or DDoS attacks. For additional protection, you have the Shield with a standard shield and an advanced shield. The standard shield is automatically included at no extra cost when you are part of WAF, and with the advanced protection option, you get expanded DDoS attack protection for your EC2 instances, load balancers, CloudFront distribution, and Route 53 hosted zones. AWS Shield advances the additional charges. For more information, you could always refer to the docs. With the AWS Firewall Manager, you get a different set of services or maintenance resources on the cloud. The supported regions at the current level for AWS Shield and WAF is US East, West, EU, Asia Pacific, Tokyo, in the West, California, in the Frankfurt, Sydney. These regions are supported currently, and in later period, it will be supported in more of the regions. With the AWS Shield Advanced Protection, You get a valid user and attacker distributor, and you automatically get mapped with the application load balancer. Obviously, it will cost you a much higher amount. The WAF and shield protection could be created directly from the dashboard. You could create a WAF account, a shield, advanced shield, or a firewall manager, which may simplify your administration and maintenance across multiple accounts. You could go to that options and create your protection environment. You can create a web ACS, rules, cross-site scripting conditions, geo match, IP addresses, size constraints, SQL injection preventions, strings, and regular expression matchings. You could create those things to protect your applications, be it mobile, web, or IoT applications. You could define the protocol policy, allowed HTTP methods like get, head, put, post, patch, delete options, and more. You could add the catch HTTP methods based on a different whitelist or blacklist. You could define different rules, the conditions that would prevent different kinds of bad requests being made from a hacker, attacker, a bot, or things like that. So it will be very useful there. The infrastructure security pattern could be implemented with a WAF shield in different locations. It could be managed with the ELB, Elastic Load Balancer, in different VPC or native cloud. It could be integrated with CDNs, content delivery networks as well. With the AWS Shield on the Route 53 and the CloudFront mapped with a WAF, you get a better security of both the domain as well as your server. You could add AWS partner rules, or with the Fortinet, you could get these things, FortiWebs. You could also prevent your system with DNS query floods for a few good actors biased by thousands of bad bots. You could remove those bad bots or distributed denial of service attacks. Then you have different cases. You may have a detector, a robots.txt exception list, or different things. And your bad bot blocker could be integrated with a custom scripts on AWS Lambda that may trigger uh, based on certain rules that you provide with the WAF and Shield. So this was a introduction about the WWAF and Shield on the AWS cloud. You could implement the protection of your web or mobile applications very easily. It is a not difficult thing. Try building your own solution. Until then, keep learning and keep moving ahead.